Cherie Yvette here, or Mrs. Wilkins. Today, I actually had the pleasure of hosting a poetry workshop called A Journey Through Poetry for the Mercer County Teen Arts Festival. And I always have a great time doing that. I am like a lover of words. So anytime I get to talk about poetry, share poetry not only from myself, but from some of my favorites, I always get excited about it. So if you're interested in inquiring about that workshop, A Journey Through Poetry, or maybe even any other workshop, or you need a workshop for youth, don't forget that you can contact me at 609-779-BEST. But that's not what this video is about. During that workshop, I actually promised that I would share two poetic pieces that were written by teens at the Mercer County Teen Art Festival probably 2 years ago, because this year it was virtual. Last year it was canceled due to the pandemic. And these poems that I'm going to share with you today were written during that experience with a few teens from the Mercer County area. And this activity I actually love to do. It's a collaborative writing activity where we all write a poem together in a creative fashion. One of them is called Immigration, and the other is called Gun Violence in School. So I don't pick the topics. The teens or the youth, they get a chance to pick the topics after we talk about what poetry is and sometimes the reasons why poets write. And they get a chance to choose the topic and we collaborate on one piece. And literally, I tell you, I've done this activity and I've done literally tons of workshops where we do this activity. And look, I'm not exaggerating because I know I can be dramatic, but I have literally hundreds of poems that I have written this way with youth, which is just so beautiful to have so much poetry. Like, I need to put it all together, start typing it and getting it into a book. But today I'm actually only going to share with you two of those pieces. And if you like what I'm saying, you do this. If you can relate, you do this. Or you just want me to know that you were vibing with me, or there's some things that stood out, you can comment on this video, share it, retweet it, like it, heart it, wherever you're watching this at. Just interact with the poetry by the youth. So here's Immigration. Build the wall, people yell. Keep them away from our beautiful land. They yell at the top of their lungs as they keep beautiful souls in cages, kids behind bars. Is this really the country we live in? How do others seem to look at us? Stupid Americans, they spew. Build the wall, people yell. Forget the beauty the land holds and the melting pot of culture we create from the different hues and beauty from across the globe. Build the wall, they yell. Wisen up, Americans. So that was called Immigration, written by a collective of young poets, which I think when I do this, I'm always amazed that even though there's more than one person penning this poem, it all comes together. We actually rotate the paper during the workshop, and by the end of the rotations, we have one collective piece. And that was just one example called Immigration, written by participants in the Journey Through Poetry workshop. The next one is called Gun Violence in School, and I'm going to let it speak for itself. The alarm sounds. We leave our desks to huddle in a corner. Hands begin to shake as I break down. With all our body heat clashing, the room gets warmer. Some play it off as it's just a joke, but it still doesn't feel right. It's almost as if you can choke off the intensity in the school. My brain is blasting with fears of hearing a sound that will end my life or see someone else lose theirs. Every tap, every breath sets me off. It puts bullets in my heart. It stops and thus begins again. The firing of fear in my mind. Making kids scream and whine, cries can be heard in every direction. The monster behind the door is looking to see what he can find. The glass shatters. Bang! 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 The horror has become a reality to me. As soon as I catch my breath, everything stops. So that was called Gun Violence in School. And as I'm looking at this poem, you can literally count the different handwritings of the number of youth who participated in writing this poem. And there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different youth, 5 different teens who came collectively together to write that piece. And didn't it sound like it was penned by one artist, one author, one poet? So I'm always like in awe at how beautiful these pieces come together as we go through a collective journey during that poetry workshop. And as I said, I literally have like hundreds at this point that I've written that way that someday I hope to put into a book. So happy National Poetry Month. For those of you who have been watching these videos from me, you know that I've been sharing something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. So today, these poems were something borrowed, written from teens in Mercer County who attended the Teen Arts Festival 2 years ago now. And I would love to continue to host this. As you can tell, I get excited about poetry. So don't forget to like, comment, share, show some love to the youth who actually wrote these pieces by commenting what you heard, what you saw, and what you felt as I shared the words that they put together. All right, happy National Poetry Month, and I will see you in the next one.